Now that we've learned to play some familiar melodies, let's break it down so that we can recognize the building blocks of these melodies and give them names. In Western music, there are only 12 intervals. In other words, there are only 12 possibilities for comparing different pitches with any other and then measuring the distance between those pitches. Those 12 intervals are the unison, a minor second, a major second, a minor third, a major third, a perfect fourth, an augmented fourth or a diminished fifth, a perfect fifth, a minor sixth, a major sixth, a minor seventh, a major seventh, and an octave. Now I want you to practice these 12 intervals on your guitar and listen for familiar songs that contain these intervals. Let me show you what I mean. For a minor second ascending, I always think of The Simpsons theme song. For a minor second descending, I always think of Joy to the World. That's the beginning of Joy to the World. Now, for a major second ascending, I think of Happy Birthday. For a major second descending, I always think of Mary Had a Little Lamb. You see, for each interval, we can recognize a familiar song, and just being able to catch that quick piece of music and recall helps us to identify it by ear. Now, for a minor third descending, I think of the Axel Foley theme song from Beverly Hills Cop. That minor third. For a minor third descending, I think of Hey Jude. I'm going to go through the other intervals with you, but I want you to realize that the songs I've chosen are not necessarily the songs that you need to choose. I've chosen these songs because they're innately familiar to me. I have an immediate reaction when I hear these intervals. If there's a different song that you hear in your head when you hear each of these intervals, then it's much better for you to use those songs. I want you to be able to have an immediate gut reaction to the interval and be able to recognize it. For a major third ascending, I hear Oh When the Saints. And for a major third descending, I hear Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. For the perfect fourth ascending, I hear Here Comes the Bride. For a perfect fourth descending, I hear Come All Ye Faithful. The next interval is known as an augmented fourth or a diminished fifth. In other words, there are two names for the same interval. Whether I hear it ascending or descending, I think of it as an Italian police car. When I hear a perfect fifth ascending, it reminds me of the Star Wars theme. And when I hear a perfect fifth descending, it reminds me of the Flintstones theme. When I hear a minor sixth ascending, I think of a pretty modern song, We Are Young by Fun. When they sing Set the World on Fire, that's an interval of a minor sixth ascending. The minor sixth descending is very hard to hear for me, but my favorite association is with the phrase Three French Hens from the Christmas song Partridge in a Pear Tree. With the major sixth, it's a lot easier than the minor sixth. The old standard sound logo, if you will, for NBC has the interval of a major sixth ascending at the beginning. A major sixth descending reminds me of Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, where he sings, I'm talking to the man in the mirror. Between I'm and talking is the interval of a descending major sixth. So next comes a minor seventh. And when this is ascending, it reminds me of the beginning of the original Star Trek theme. When the minor seventh is descending, it reminds me of another Christmas song, White Christmas. The interval between the syllables of Christmases. when they sing, "May all your Christmases be white," that's the interval of a descending minor seventh. The major seventh is a bit unique for me because I've never really found a piece of music that helps me remember them. To my ear, whether the interval is ascending or descending, I hear it as being similar to an octave, but significantly more dissonant. You can also kind of hear it as a minor second, which I talked about as the Simpsons theme. I think you'll see what I mean if you try to listen to it yourself, and you'll hear what I mean with regards to both the Simpsons minor second comparison and that it sounds slightly like an octave but dissonant. Now, an octave for me always is easier to hear than any other interval. It reminds me of Somewhere Over the Rainbow from Wizard of Oz, and the syllables in somewhere stretch the distance of a full octave. Somewhere. Over the rainbow. Now I wanted to just play a major seventh again, since I suggested the major seventh sounds to me like a very dissonant octave. Maybe that'll suit you, maybe it won't. Now here's a major seventh and here's an octave. Very consonant, very dissonant. I'd suggest playing all of these intervals next to each other, one after another, to familiarize your ear with either the songs that I've specified or other songs. So that's it for now. I've prepared a cheat sheet that goes along with this lesson, and you can download it from the resource section associated with this lecture. The cheat sheet contains all 12 intervals, the songs that I've related to them, and tab for how to play them on your fretboard. In the next lesson, we're going to do some hands-on work with all of this information, and I'll go over how you can turn all of this information into real bedrock knowledge. So let's move forward to the next lesson, a hands-on exercise in recognizing intervals.